My name's Afua Hall. I am the artist in residence at Miami-Dade College Kendall campus. Afreeka is about a dancehall queen. It's about a dancehall queen scene in all of her forms, where she came from, where she's going, how she became a dancehall queen. We moved when I was 2 and then moved back when I was 9, and then I was there for about like 12 years and then started going away for school. You hear my accent?
No, that's fine, that's
But when
fine.
I'm talking to my mom, it comes out.
In terms of being Jamaican now, how much of that do you think is reflected in your work? You know,
Me,
is it a way to connect to?
It exactly is a way for me to connect to my Jamaican heritage and my Jamaican self. Like, I grew up basically doing classical ballet, you know, and got into modern dance a little bit later, but never really had like the full dance hall experience.
What elements of Jamaica are you connecting with in that dance?
Definitely the dancehall queen and the
Why the dancehall queen? I'm
because
curious.
to me she just totally represents like this walking contradiction of like just very like fierce and powerful and in command of herself, but at the same time like sort of like victim being exploited for her sexuality. You know, and I liked that sort of like shameless kind of like quality about her, but she's just like, you know, what up, you know what I mean? Like, that's it, that's just me. And so that's what attracted me to it. Plus I see, you know, the connection between the whining and Africa.
But my difficulty with it, really, I must confess, my difficulty with it is there's a sort of stereotypical representation of how Jamaica is supposed to be viewed on stage, and I was just a little curious to know what your reaction
That's
to that
exactly
would be.
what I'm going for, just straight up stereotypes. The stereotypical dance hall queen, aggressive, in your face, you know, holding her back from a fight. What I want to do is kind of like defy those stereotypes and humanize them and show the person like underneath it, which is why I wanted to show that Afreeka, the dance hall queen, you know, at one point she was this young girl, and what brought her, how did she become this stereotype, you know, so that it's no longer a stereotype, but it's actually a human person.
There's significance to the images of flight, because
Oh,
when you watch the dancers, a lot of them
absolutely.
seem to be wanting to fly off the stage in a way.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
That for me was something I took out of both, you know, of the pieces I saw, the pantomime-esque quality about it, you know, the big movement and the, you know, stereotypical stuff, and then the flight. And I thought, what an interesting counterpoint, you know. Here they're so grounded in a sort of, I suppose, a sort of traditional representation of what appropriate theater is, and then they're breaking down that mold and trying to like fly away into something else.
I look at right now in the last section I'm assuming you're talking about, where that's more so, it's kind of just like Africa, the diaspora. I do think that within there's a search for like freedom, and to me there's something about flight that represents freedom to me. You know, and it's just it's an iconic image of flight representing freedom, from like, you know, Sankofa the movie and the bird fly away home.
What does dancehall mean for you, and therefore why would you choose that as your point of reference to connect you to Jamaica through dance? You know,
Well,
what does
I
dancehall
mean,
mean for you?
What does dancehall mean for me? Dancehall means a place. It's a place of freedom. It's a platform for self-expression. It's also a place of community. The same time I went to the dancehall queen contest, the DJ was there, and he was, you know, like when they'll riff over it and they'll say, you know, rewind and come again, selector, this, that.
Sort of freestyling,
Yes, when you'll freestyle on
ad-libbing
top of
kind
it.
of
He
thing.
was talking about like, you know, girls when you're at work and this, you know, he was referencing the day-to-day life. So it's a place where people go to like
Escape.
to escape, to connect, to have things kind of like contextualized, because in some ways the music does that, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, you know, depending on the song. And in some ways, like the DJ himself is really like, you know, he's like a preacher kind of, you know, he selects what passages he's going to use from you know, the canon of whatever songs. And so like it's the dancehall is just amazing to me like that. Like, you know, it's so many different things for so many different people, but it's, you know, that's open to so many different interpretations.